Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Kid Ink here, and you watching 16 Bars. Ugh.
Sup, man? Nice to meet you.
What's going
Back
on?
again in Berlin. How you doing?
Back again. I'm excited. It's gonna be fun. It was fun last year, so it could even only be better now.
It can only get better, but a year has passed. We met last year on the tour. Since then, a couple of things have changed. You signed to a major label, RCA, which is part of Sony Records. What's different now about the whole label situation for you?
What's different, about the label situation is, it's just another team that's, helping me do whatever I'm doing now. It's like anything that I'm working at already and already shown improve, they're just helping make it even bigger and adding steroids to it and just not really changing anything more so than just adding to it. So I haven't really come to any, regrets or anything about the major label situation more so than I'm excited about the major label album. I got my album coming out and obviously it hasn't been, it's only been a year. Some people don't get their albums out after being signed for 2 years. So it's definitely an exciting moment.
Before that, you were basically the main music act on your own label, the Alumni Music Group. Did you take any of your people from the alumni with you on the major label?
Well, the whole thing is, it was different deals where they wanted to sign, the entire alumni as a whole. But the whole thing is, it just had to fill out the situation with the label in itself and not really sign everyone to a situation if they weren't going to have the same situation as me. It's not really fair for my team to feel like they're backburnered or feel any different kind of way than how I feel when I first got my deal. So, it wasn't really a rush until we established just a little bit more of Kid Ink, and help build the alumni brand just a little stronger. And I feel like by next year it'll be the bigger time for, the other artists to strive and really open those doors.
But how strong are you still involved in the whole alumni project?
Involved extremely. I mean, I have, most of my team on the road with me. So, I see the same guys every day, even when I'm on tour. I make sure I bring them along, give them the early experience so they know what to expect, because I didn't have, what to expect when I got into this situation. So, make sure everyone is just humbled early and they get everything and, don't really take everything for granted. And I feel like the team around me is pretty strong and plays great positions. And I feel like everyone, soon hit that point.
As you already said, your album is coming up in January. What's different, about from Up and Away to My Own Lane?
Um, well, what's different is, an independent album is independent. It's independent money. It's independent time. It's, everything is put together by you personally to where, with a major label, it's growth first. It's, as far as the sound, the production, linking up with other artists, the studio quality, the time, how it's going to sound, the mastering, like all those little things come into play, just how the albums are going to differ just in sound. But, for me, I feel like they're going to be kind of similar, the albums themselves, because Up and Away was an introduction to Kid Ink. So, my core fans and everyone who independently listens to me now and the underground or, stuff like that, to where the major label album is opening eyes from all new listeners who have never, heard me before or don't know Kid Ink from anything but Show Me the single. And I feel like this project has to really give off an overall, Kid Ink vibe and not just one song thinking it's going to sound the same every time. Just understanding me as an artist.
But you already made a big statement with the single Show Me. Because you already said, being on a major label gives you more opportunities for collaborations, and you had Chris Brown on this single. How did that come together? Did you know him before?
I definitely, me and Chris had worked already on my first single I had on the Up and Away album was, the remix featured Chris Brown and Tyga, which, was all just reaching out personally and getting it done through emails. And this time around, reached out this time and we actually got into the studio and worked, face to face and vibed out. He doesn't live too far from where I stay. And, the studio isn't too far from that. So it wasn't, anything on off time to get into the studio, and I played him, the records I wanted to play, Show Me being the first one that we knocked out. And I always felt like it was a strong single, and he just added so much more to it and just made it a bigger record.
And he also directed the video. Was that his decision, or did the label decide that?
Nah, it was kind of a decision. Like I feel like everything with the Chris Brown and Show Me single was all, personal decisions. We didn't really go through the label too much, even though he's a label mate. I think that only made the song clearing and just stuff like that, the business side go easier. But we talked about the video at the studio, not necessarily knowing which song we were gonna go with. I did kind of, but not really, what I'm saying, explaining which song, but letting him know, like, you've been doing your video directing thing. If you want to direct the video, what I'm saying, it'll be even cooler to have you direct the video, be on the song, what I'm saying, and it'll open people up to knowing that you direct videos even more and you do your own stuff. So he called me after he sent the treatment, went over the treatment with me on the phone, sent another treatment, and we just met up at the video.
Okay, and you obviously
We linked up before the video, but then we met up at the video for
yeah.
the video. Yeah.
Okay, but you had a lot of fun because it was like a whole house party. Everybody was there. You also have, like, on RTA, there are a lot of other people like Ferg, Rocky. You have Jamie Foxx, Miguel. Which one of these artists did you already work with, or which one of these artists would you like to work with in the future?
Well, the first the first label mate I ended up meeting off the label was ASAP. When I went out to New York, we ended up having a club event, what I'm saying, and we met at the club, and, had a little chill time there, and then from there I got ASAP Ferg on the album. And on the record, Bossin' Up featuring French Montana. So he, label mates, and Miguel is from the same city as me. I've watched Miguel's career grow just from, MySpace. So it's been a minute, man. And I think I still haven't come into terms with Jamie. I haven't, met or crossed too many. I haven't been at the label office and crossed paths with anybody really seriously. I think I've seen like Marsha Ambrosier and I think Jordan Sparks in the office, and that's about it. But everyone else, it's just about patience, timing, and getting together,
Okay, but Miguel would be fun.
I think Miguel would be dope. I got some crazy records I think that we could get together on and make some special new stuff. Hopefully I could link up on the next project.
Who else is on My Own Lane?
My Own Lane right now, I think the only, features that are out or the ones that I usually already work with, just like, what I'm saying, the ASAP Ferg and Meek Mill and MGK, those are people who I've always worked with every, what I'm saying, almost every project, had some type of vibe from them. And it was only right, to give the fans just that, but in a bigger, growth in a bigger picture. And it's some other artists, from labels like Good Music and Young Money and even some more of RCA artists on the album, more so features that are singing and, hooks than verses. It's just hooks I wrote that I wanted people to sing better than me, so I just reached out to big singers and bigger artists like that. So I don't want to give too much out though.
Okay. But Meek Mill is for sure because you already connected with the whole MMG.
Yeah, you already know about that, man. MMG fam.
MMG. Let's talk about the production, because you were a producer before, so you obviously pick your beats wisely. And Show Me was produced by DJ Mustard, who's like huge right now. How did you get together with him?
DJ Mustard, man. I've known Mustard before he was Mustard on the Beat Ho. So, I just would see Mustard. He had some friends that lived in the same apartment complex that I lived in, so I would just see him on passing all the time. I was friends with one of his homies, and, what I'm saying, we buy weed from him and everything like that. So he would even gave my brothers just some love on just music and stuff before. So knowing him and YG early, wasn't anything. When we got to the point where we started doing just music, I reached out and he'd send me beats, and we ended up being in the same studio for like the same 2 weeks in LA and in Atlanta. And I think we were just swapping material and beats and hooks and ideas. And, I've given him stuff for his mixtapes and just done favors, send hooks to YG. It's just all kind of stuff that happens inside that, makes us just mad cooler than music. I feel like we just got a cool relationship. Yeah. Our girlfriends hang out when we're not together, so it's just dope like that,
Is there like one Mustard beat that you would have liked for yourself that got like a really big banger?
Mustard beats that I slept on. 2 Mustard beats I slept on. Not really slept on. I just didn't finish them or get the ideas across that I wanted. Will probably have to be the T-Pain Up Down. I think that's one of my favorite Mustard beats. And I had that B.O.B. headband beat too for a minute. I just, I was sitting on, you get a lot of stuff. Mustard works so fast, and he always has so much bundle of music that you just pick through them. And I've heard so many ones that have come out lately, but I don't want to exhaust the sound and use every single Mustard beat that he gives me. I gotta make sure I pick those ones that fit me, and I feel like just being patient and waiting to show me was that right record that came along.
So what other producers are on my own lane?
I tried to work with just the same, producers that got me to this point, like, Jalil and Cardiac and Ned Cameron. And even with that, I still got into bigger production from Boy Wonder. I got records done in Pharrell and Vinyls, who's done a lot of stuff on Drake's records, and Diesel. And these are all, I finished a lot of stuff from all kind of different producers, whether it be I record over Mike Will's stuff. And it's just about, slimming it all down and seeing what's going to make the album and what's going to, either make some other project or make the next album. We'll just have to see.
Okay, cool. So the year's almost over. What was like your favorite rap album this year?
My favorite rap album this year would probably have to be Jay-Z's last album. It was crazy. The Magna Carta album, I think, was a pretty hands down untouchable album of the year, where he had a lot of bangers on there, and it was one of his best albums after having 12 albums and it being so late. So it's pretty dope.
Jay-Z just turned 44 yesterday. That's a big number. Like, when you see yourself at his age, like, what do you want to have accomplished by that age?
I want to have at least the same and even more. I always feel like when you look at your competition or you're the people you look up to, you should at least want to do more, or the same. And I feel like Jay-Z has always been someone I've watched who just continued to do himself and not really switch up. Well, and that's really what I'm all about, is this is what got me here. This is what I'm going to continue to do. And he always continued to be Jay-Z, the rapper, and I feel like everything else just came to him like that. And that's how, I want to be in 10 years, still focus on music, still making great albums after being 12 albums in, and, it being compared to my first one and what people might think is the best ones and stuff like that. So it's dope.
Okay, cool, man. So are you excited about tonight? It's going to be full crowded.
I'm definitely excited about tonight. I'm expecting to see a pretty live crowd that, feels like they might never see me again. And that's, always what I'm about when I come overseas, is these shows are huge, especially in Germany, which I just found, Germany is my second biggest market out of the States. So it's just dope, to come out here and see the response and really feel that, and not just feel it over social networks.
Yeah, so you got any last words for your German supporters?
Man, I just want to thank all my German supporters. Like I said, that's my number 2 out of the States, and it's pretty dope because, I couldn't explain it. I couldn't tell you why. It's, so it's just dope to see it and be curious about why, and really just learn as it goes, and grow with the fans, and not see it stay, still. It actually grows and grows and grows. So I'm actually excited for the album to come out in Germany and really have those numbers hit number 1,
Okay, thanks, man.
Yeah.